What's going on, Pack Rats, and welcome back to the Wager Matches series. I am joined today by Super Light 1993, who has agreed to participate in the Gauntlet. For those of you who don't know what the Gauntlet is, it is a best-of-3 series with NHL 16, Black Ops 3, and Rocket League, or whatever series or combination of 3 games you want, but the rule is it has to include NHL 16. Here we are playing my ultimate team. We are playing his on his super alternate account where he got some nasty pulls. And we are going to start off the game with a 5-on-3, and Cronwall is going to put it top shelf on him. I was really happy I got a goal in that 5-on-3 because that would have been embarrassing. You have to score on a 5-on-3. That's what all the commentators say when you're watching real hockey, so that's what we have to do here. And we're going to lay a bunch of big hits in this game. This was a big hitting game. I talked to him afterwards, and he said his whole strategy with this team was to have big guys who could lay the body, and I gotta say, it worked. If you look at the end of the statistics, there are 25 hits by his team and only 15 by mine. That is a lot of hits in one single game. So his Mason had my number the entire game. His glove was red hot. I couldn't stop it. Look at that spin move by Petrovic. How are you supposed to dangle around that? Just insane. That's going to do it for the first period. We are up 8-5 on shots. His time on attack is a little bit better than me. The hits are already coming out. 11 in the first period. It's a really close game. This game was close the entire way through. It was a very interesting game. I mean, some of these shots, you know, his goalie just stoned me. Some of these shots definitely should be in. Look at this hit. Knocked Cronwall straight off his feet. Those are going to be the only highlights. It is now 10-10 shots on net. He still has me by about a minute on time on attack, and we are holding this 1-0 lead going into the third period. And look at that Nyquist right there. He just misses the puck. Luckily, I get a crossbar. Saves my bacon right there. Luckily, we can still make it out at the start of this period right here, but that was a bad omen. That slip-up right there was the start to the downfall. So you're going to see we're going to play with it in his corner a little bit, and we're going to pass it all the way down the ring. Just a terrible pass to the point, and he's going to read my deke all day. He's coming in 2-on-1. We're going to strip the puck from him. So Cronwall is going to take it around. You know, we're going to try and get it out to our guy. He's going to strip the puck again. We're going to try and get it through. Another great poke check there. Just knows exactly when to do that thing. I get so confused and so amazed by that skate to stick move right there that I leave the guy wide open, and he's going to tie it up 1-1. With 15 minutes to go in the third period. But luckily for us, we don't just sit down when somebody strikes at us, and we are going to come back from this goal blazing hot. We have an initiative. It's the first person to win 2 games out of the series gets a card. His favorite team was Toronto, so I said, okay, I'll offer you a certain legend card of Toronto, maybe one of your choosing, somewhere around 100,000 pucks. That's what you guys can expect if you end up doing the Gauntlet. It is the best reward for any card. So that is definitely the one to do it, but it's definitely, you know, the best reward because of what I'm asking of you in this game. It's not just NHL skill, it's a skill across multiple platforms, and his Mason just keeps stoning me. So many opportunities that a normal goalie would let in. His Mason was just red hot the entire night, and it just was annoyed the heck out of me. His glove was on fire. I love putting it top shelf on some of these goalies, but it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't happen. I just couldn't connect. I couldn't get it into the back of the net, except for that 5-on-3. I guess we just got to shoot from the point with our defenseman a little bit more. Nonetheless, we have so many good opportunities, you know, going behind the net, crossing it, and Johnson just whiffs on the shot right there. It's just annoying. So we have 2 minutes left in the game, and we're going to get called for a hooking penalty right here. So we should be going up on the power play, and I'm stalling a bit, so now we have the entire rest of the third period on a power play. This is great. Bad omen right there. I whiffed the shot from the face-off dot. So, you know, this should be good. This should be good. I'm a 5-on-4. You know, the last time we had a power play, it turned out great in our favor. We got exactly what we wanted. He's going to clear it down into our zone like he should be. It's a smart play. Win it. Don't try and deke it out into the zone. And Bishop is going to just make a terrible pass. So Backstrom's going to end up getting the puck out of here. He's going to try and bring it around the corner. We're going to level him. Cronwall's going to take it up, and he reads my deke again. And oh no. So he buries it. He puts it away and gives us our first loss on this channel. This is what it feels like to lose, I guess. We are on the power play. Less than a minute left, and he puts it right past us. As he should. He was wide alone in front of my net. A terrible breakout. Bishop gets a little piece of it, but just can't hold on. We go down 2-1 at this stage in the game. It hurts. I didn't want you guys to know what losing felt like, and it finally happened in our wager match here. I see he's going to put it down. But Bishop just can't contain it. It's very reminiscent of the Chicago Blackhawks winning the Stanley Cup over my Bolts. All the Chicago fans celebrating everywhere. It's kind of somber, kind of depressing, but we have about 16 seconds left, and we're going to try and put it up high on Mason. He's going to shut us down one last time. About 10 seconds left to go. We have one final shot. Leg save there. Jack Johnson's going to nimble his way around the defense and actually get a pretty good shot off, but Mason just saves the day and carries that one home for his team. Chicago Blackhawk fans are going to win this game. It is a 2-1 victory for him. If you want to see the stats, pause the video right there. I didn't get to carry on the recording that much longer, but now we are into the Black Ops 3 segment of the Gauntlet. So if you look at the team deathmatch stats right there, we had pretty similar KD ratio, so I was like, okay, we got a pretty good battle. I was asking him before, and he said he won't need Rocket League to win the Gauntlet. So I'm like, okay, got a little bit of fight inside this. I like it. Get a little bit of a trash talk back and forth. It was fun. So how we made this even, since we couldn't do gun game, which we wanted to do, or free-for-all because they banned that stuff in party play, so we joined a team deathmatch. We were on the same team. We disabled all the score streaks, and we disabled what kind of specialist we were going to be using so we could have no help whatsoever, no advantage. Whatever our teammates got, we would both benefit from equally. So we used, whatever class we wanted to, and whoever wound up on the podium at the higher rank is the person who will win that game. So it took us about 45 minutes to actually get this going. We tried to party join a whole bunch of times, get into a game and try and join each other. It just didn't end up working. So we finally got into a game. We finally agreed on team deathmatch after, saying each other was going to win a bunch of times. And, I used to play this game all the time. We both had a fairly good history with Black Ops 2. So we both were looking forward to this map and knew it was going to be a good fight right down to the end. So I'm also not sure how you're supposed to cut clips in Black Ops 3 because unlike NHL 16, there might be some dead periods where, the puck's kind of just floating around. You can usually cut those out and get to the parts where there's a good attack, there's a lot of good pressure. But in Black Ops 3, we want to prove that there's no funny business going on, that it was a fair fight all the way through. As I said before, no monkey business was going down, so we just wanted to show everything here. Luckily, these games aren't too long. Luckily for us, though, this gives us a bunch of time to talk about things that have been happening in NHL 16 recently. So how about those flash forward cards? Those things came out of nowhere. It was amazing. If you guys were one of the lucky ones who had a Jack Eichel Movember, a McDavid Movember, a Panarin Movember, there were so many good cards that just got an insane boost. I luckily had an Aaron Ekblad that I got out of a collection pull that was a Movember, and I looked him up, and he was a 92 overall. Just turned into my best player on my team, so I'm thrilled about that because I definitely need some new upgrades to my Hut team, which I have. I got a Taylor Hall in a pack, so I put him on left wing. I ended up getting a McDonough in a pack, put him on one of my defensemen. I got that Ekblad now, so the next people who try me in the wager match, I'm going to have an increased team, so you can be looking forward to that. So I know there was some other news in the Team of the Year cards coming out that the players who have not gotten any special cards so far or more than 2 upgrades, they were Toffoli, Wheeler. I know those are some of the ones who are locked. Kucherov, I heard was a lock but is not yet officially locked. And I am praying and hoping and just selling my soul for anything so that that card is possible. I would do anything. I'd give away my entire team for that Team of the Year Kucherov. He's had an amazing season, and I can't wait to get my hands on that card. Fingers crossed, EA, if you're listening, please, please, please make that happen for me. So those of you who are new to the Black Ops scene, especially on this new generation, there has been some big developments as far as, the competitive scene of Call of Duty. I know that for the long time, the competitive scene where all the competitive gameplays were going on happened all on the Xbox 360. Now, for this next-gen system, and for Black Ops 3 specifically, it all switched over to the PlayStation 4, so that they thought that was the better console. The better stuff was going to be happening on there. They offered the most benefit for tournament play and whatnot, so there's an influx of people coming over to PlayStation 4 to play Black Ops, so it's definitely a lot of fun. There's a lot of very skilled players on here. There's also a lot of noobs on here. And this was the first game that I actually got to use this RK5 pistol. If any of you guys have played this game, it is a lot like the B23R in Black Ops 2, and I was having the time of my life. This was the first time I ever got to use that pistol. I put it on the class right before this started, and I had a blast with it, and I was like, this thing melts, this is awesome. I'm so happy I put this on my class. So another thing I wanted to bring up. So I know that since we play 3 games in this Gauntlet series, you know, NHL 16, Black Ops 3, and Rocket League, it doesn't really make sense that if you beat me in NHL 16 and I beat you in the following 2 games, that you don't get anything. So I came up with this consolation prize. If you can beat me in NHL 16 and I beat you in the following 2 games, you get, I would say, about half the price of the card you were getting as a reward, because this is a primarily NHL channel, hockey-related, hockey-centered channel, and so if you beat me, I consider that a win for you, and I definitely think that that should be rewarded. So to all of you, you know, who out there saying, well, you know, he actually beat you, this is an NHL channel, this is what we came to watch, I completely agree with you. That's why I think he should get a prize. At least he isn't going to get the best prize because, you know, these are the cards that I'm giving away, and I think I have the final say in these things, and, you know, I consider myself to be fairly good at all 3 of these games. And so if you think you can best me on that, that is definitely a ballsy move on your part to say, you know what, I think I'm pretty good at NHL 16, I'm better than you, and I think I can beat you in the other games as well. I think that's, you know, pretty fun. It's better than just saying, I think I can beat you in NHL 16. It's a lot more fun. You know, you cover more ground, you cover more generics of games, and it really shows your skill overall at the different variety of games, and I definitely think that should be rewarded. That's why it merits the largest prize as far as rewards, and that's why I also am giving a consolation prize if you can beat me in the NHL 16 part of things. So in NHL news recently, so of course I'm going to talk about my Tampa Bay Lightning. We are on a 7-game winning streak right now. Tyler Johnson got hit in the head, bleeding all over the ice, big puddle on the ground, comes back the next day and puts 2 away. The only 2 goals in a game against Toronto, a huge win for us that ties us in the Atlantic Division. Anaheim, though, has a longer winning streak of 8 games. They are doing unreal. If you look back at near the start of the season, I'm like, Anaheim's going to make a comeback story. You watch it. They had too many good players in their team to be sucking the way they were at the start of the season. So I completely expected this out of them, so good for them. Carey Price practiced in full pads this week. Good news for him, even though he's an opposing, you know, team and a great goalie in the opposing team. I'm a goalie myself. I played goalie when I was growing up, all since I was in kindergarten, all the way to my end of high school. So I can definitely feel for goalies. Even in the playoffs, I was like, you know, he's on the other team. I hate him. But damn it, do I respect him. It's just goalie code or something along those lines. You feel for one another, and it's good to see Carey Price is getting healthy again. Maybe he can help the Canadians get back into the playoffs. They definitely started off this year on fire. So, you know, nothing's possible at this point. There are still no players who are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, so let's not count them out of it just yet. So that little edit that I did on the game-winning goal from the hockey segment of this video took me about a half hour to do, mainly because I was just laughing my ass off the whole time at some of the funny and the sad and just how depressing some of the songs were feeling. I kept replaying it. And as you see there, I turned the specialist perk on just to see what it did for a second. I think it added about 200 extra points, but in the end, I don't think that is going to put my score over where his was. Just something to mention as we are going to end the game here. 100-58, pretty dominant, and I ended up on top with a 29-12 record. That is a really good record for me, and it was funny because halfway through I thought that the second place guy on my team was him, so the whole way I was sitting there, you know, pushing and grinding, I was like, he's right behind me, he's right behind me, but it ended up good, and that robot got a shotgun to the balls. Let me know how that kills a robot. And then that's pretty much Call of Duty universe in a nutshell. It doesn't really make sense. Bullets go flying and everybody dies, and then you get points. And you can call in anything, even little spike balls that run around and blow up. So that is going to end the second part of the Gauntlet, which brings us to Rocket League, the third and final game in our tiebreaker. Rocket League is a very fun game. It came out about 2 years ago, I want to say, is when the beta was released on PlayStation 4. It is a very fun game. It's a mixture of race cars and soccer, and you can fly around and hit the ball, and it is a blast to get in on with the party. So if you have 20 bucks, definitely I would recommend it. It's on Steam, so you can play it on computer and PlayStation 4. They're actually cross-compatible, so you can play people on Steam with your PS4. It's a lot of fun. The interactivity, the what would you call that? The interlinking between platforms is definitely something cool. And I thought that goal at first was a bit, I didn't know if he was paying attention at first or if it was going to matter. But in the end, I proved, I guess, to be the more experienced individual. I guess I played this game a little bit more than him. You know, we were both rusty at this game at first. We definitely had a practice match where we were going around just hitting the ball and just remembering how to control things. But I played this game a lot when it first came out on the beta. So it was easy for me to pick up. It's much like riding a bike, but as you can see, the physics of this game are a lot of fun. Flying cars around, you just got to hit the ball into your opponent's net. As simple as that. It's very easy to pick up. It's a very simple game, but it's very difficult to master. I find that the better you get at this game, the more aggravated you get, the stupid mistakes that you make. Nonetheless, it is a very fun game for all ages and for all skill levels to play, so definitely check that game out if you've never heard of this game. It's also very heavily backed up by the developers. They're always pumping out new content. They're always putting out expansions, new cars, new antennas, new just fun things to add to the cars, as well as new maps. Even over the winter break, they put out an ice hockey version where they had a giant puck. And the floor was all made of ice, and so you could slide around on it. The puck was sliding around. It was very hard to play that game if any of you guys got it, but let me know what you guys think of Rocket League. It's definitely one of my favorite games. I played it so much when the beta came out that my thumbs literally had bruises on them. And we're going to put this one away to 3-0 right here. And this is about the point where things started to change, and I kind of just continued the game and continued to put them away. It was definitely fun game. I definitely would say I'm a little bit better than average at this game, but you guys can let me know if you guys are better if you ever face me in the Gauntlet. If you're ever man enough to come face me in the Gauntlet. Not everyone is man enough as Super Light 1993, and you can definitely know that he is going to be getting a great reward for seeing me in the Gauntlet and for putting up against all 3 games. He put up a hell of a fight in all 3 games. I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was a great start to this Gauntlet series. As I said before, he was a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, and I felt like it was fitting that I give him a card that was pretty decent. I'm sorry I thought it was a Vancouver card. I forgot to buy a contract. Hopefully with the 9,000 or so pucks I gave you, you can buy a changed jersey and then have a gold mini on me. So I'd like to thank you, Super Light 1993. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun playing in the first ever Gauntlet. You gave me my first loss. That's something you can carry with you to the end of time. Something that only one person can say on YouTube. And it was you, my friend. So congratulations to you. So to end the video, I would like to announce that if anybody of you guys watching would like to verse me in any sort of wager match, Sub the Scrubs Gauntlet, all you have to do is be commenting in the comment section with your PlayStation username and be subscribed to the channel. Google is very powerful, and I can check if you are or not. I will only choose a person to wager of those who have commented in the previous wager match. That's how I get my list of players to choose from, so that's all you have to do. Comment in the comment section, be subscribed to the channel. So that is it. Please drop a like, please comment in the comment section below and engage in some friendly conversation with me and the other people who are subscribed to this fantastic channel. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, this is PackDaddy. I'm out.